welcome to Take Me Out, the ultimate podcast about ballparks and the baseball experience. It's September 19th, 2025. I'm Alexandra Ellis, and I'm joining my friend Timothy Malcolm.
What's up, baseball fans? We are like 2 weeks, not even 2 weeks, like a week. I mean, the season is ending so quickly this year because it usually ends in October. I know we talked about this last week, your birthday.
Man, it's upsetting.
But baseball's coming to a close, and the playoffs are about to start. And we are here like we are every week here on Take Me Out. I'm Tim, that's Alex. How are you this mid-September playoff frenzy period of time?
Happy to be here. Love that things are really coming down to the wire, especially with my Astros and the Mariners. I'm actually going to try to be going to the game tonight. Tickets, as expected, are higher than normal because it is a Friday night. And the Astros and Mariners are now tied for first place. But I'm still going to go because today I am actually 4 years sober today. So I'm treating myself. Thank you very much.
Great. That is great.
I appreciate it. I'm doing a little treat myself day. Like as soon as we're done here, I'm going to go get a little facial. I'm going to get a new manicure. And then I get a tattoo. I don't know. It's 2025. It's been a year and a decade. Or I don't know how long this year has been. But yeah, I'm just going to treat myself today.
It's a big treat yourself day. We're recording this on a Friday of the release date. So the Astros with a weekend series against the Mariners at Dyken Park.
Big one.
My Phillies have sewn up the National League Eastern Division.
That's
are
awesome.
Currently in pole position for at least a bye. They could still potentially be the number one seed in the National League, could still have the best record in baseball. They're currently at the second spot in that conversation with the Brewers in front. But we are getting there. We're almost there. And today on Take Me Out, this week on Take Me Out, we are going to talk about the playoffs, but in a different way, in a very Take Me Out way, in a very ballpark way. We are going to take all the contenders currently contending for the playoffs. There's like 15 of them, 16. It's like half the league. We're going to take them, and we are going to rank them by their playoff fan bases. How they are in the playoffs, how the fans are in the playoffs. We're going to rank them just in case there's still plenty of time. You could always get a ticket whenever. If you were like, I want to go to a Major League Baseball playoff game this year, maybe you live somewhere where there's not going to be playoffs, or maybe you want to go somewhere else. This will be kind of a guide to like figure out like what the best experience is going to be, what the best atmosphere is going to be for the playoffs. So we'll do that in just a bit. We're going to have some news coming up. We're going to talk about Citi Field, some improvements there. We're going to talk about T-Mobile Park and some interesting conversations happening there. But before we do all of that, Alex, obviously you're here, you're listening, you are enjoying this, and we thank you for that. But if you are listening, maybe you can help us get the word out about this podcast. How could people get the word out about Take Me Out?
Well, if you're listening, you're kind of halfway there. I mean, we greatly appreciate you listening to us. Whichever podcast app you're listening to us on, Spotify, Apple Plus, iHeart, I think Tidal does it now. I'm not sure. I'm looking at all these different streamers. While you're there, just go to our page, give us a nice, healthy 5-star review. We would greatly appreciate it. While you're there, hit the share button, hit the follow, like, comment, subscribe. You can also hit those buttons on YouTube because you're watching us right now. We're on YouTube. Hi, YouTube.
We are on YouTube.
YouTube.com/TakeMeOutPod. Then we're on the socials as well. Facebook.com/TakeMeOutPod and Instagram, TakeMeOutPod. And I'll be posting some stories from the ballpark tonight if I get a ticket that I can afford. Yeah, and then we're also on Patreon as well. Yeah, tickets are a little expensive tonight, but yeah. Also on Patreon, patreon.com/TakeMeOut, where you take out the pod. Get it? Tim, tell them about Patreon. Yay.
Yeah, patreon.com/TakeMeOut. There we have special episodes of the podcast. 3 of them currently. We have a review of Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia. We have a guide to Philadelphia if you are traveling there. And then we have a review of Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. Those are the 3 right now. To get those episodes of Take Me Out, all you have to do is go to patreon.com/TakeMeOut and sign up for one of the 2 tiers that exist there. There are the Loge tier, which is $3 a month. It is the entry-level tier. It is the highest level of the stadium, so it is the lowest level tier that we have. You get the special episodes of Take Me Out with that Loge tier purchase of $3 a month. And then there's the field level, which is $5 a month. You're coming down to the concourse, essentially. This will allow you to get the special episodes of Take Me Out, but also other perks, which are on the Patreon. You can see them. They include a copy of this amazing book that is the whole genesis of this podcast, Baseball Road Trips. It's not in the sunlight. There's my copy. There's Alex's copy. It is the ultimate guide to ballparks and beer and everything in between, food, all the things when you're going to see baseball games across the country and North America. What do you do? Where do you go? What do you see in those cities and in those ballparks? This is what Baseball Road Trips, the book, is all about. And Take Me Out is the extension of that, where we talk about ballparks and ballpark news, and we banter a bit, but also the special episodes of the podcast are bigger guides, bigger reviews, my knowledge coming to roost, if you will. And they are there on the Patreon at patreon.com/take me out. Take out the pod. Okay.
Check it out.
Let's start the podcast with the news of the week.
Let's do it. Rob Manfred says a new Rays ballpark is in the cards after sale.
You know, I didn't mention this the first time we talked about Rob Manfred. Do you know that I'm pretty sure that I have received Holy Communion from Rob Manfred?
Oh, this is a story. What is this about? Hang on. Like, what?
It's very weird. It's very weird, right?
That's
That's a weird thing to say. But
yeah,
Rob Manfred is from a part of New York, or lives, maybe, I don't know if he still does, but he lived at least in a part of New York that I used to live in, Tarrytown, New York, which is about an hour north of New York City via commuter train. You know, it's not that long. It's like 45 minutes via train from Grand Central to Tarrytown. Beautiful little city it's a village, actually. Beautiful little village on the Hudson River. You walk up from the river, like up a hill, and then there's Main Street. And Main Street has shops and restaurants, and just in those spring, summer, fall, people are outside eating. It's like, it's wonderful. It's very quaint. It's awesome, but it's also a little, it's not like quaint, like New England quaint. There's a little bit of like energy, youthful, you know? And Halloween is really big there because it's where Washington Irving is from, and he wrote The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. All of those stories, all of his stories, they're based in Tarrytown. Yeah. He's from there. Halloween's a big deal. Big deal. Only Salem, Mass is bigger Halloween. Anyways.
Man, yeah. I've been there.
That's all set up for, I lived there in the 2010s, and I used to go to this church, the Church of the Transfiguration in Tarrytown, New York, and I used to get communion every week there, and there was always different people there, and I definitely got it from like the white man who had like, you know, balding hair or whatever. And my wife was a part of the church. You know, she was a cantor after a while because we had a cantor who left, and she kind of took over that job, and she would be singing on Sundays, and so we there every Sunday. But I looked at the website, you know, after sort of, you know, we were there for like 3 years, and then we kind of got into the church more and more. And once we were into the church more and more, I was looking at the website and stuff, and I saw like the people who give communion. They're called the communal. What are they called? Forget what they're called. The actual name of them. I should know this. But the people who give communion, they're listed on the site, and one of them was Robert Manfred. And there's the picture of him standing amongst the other like people who give communion, and it is Rob Manfred, the commissioner of Major League Baseball.
That's crazy.
Apparently,
oh my gosh.
Daughter or son, one or the other, got married at Church of the Transfiguration.
Okay.
Around the time that we were there, like around the same time. So he was giving communion at the Church of the Transfiguration when I was a member there. And so, yeah, I've definitely received communion from Rob Manfred. I know I have. So
that's so crazy. That is absolutely nuts. And it's, you know, I would expect it if it was the Pope, you know, that would be that would be in Chicago.
I mean, he went to Villanova, you know, maybe there's a Philly connection there. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, there you go.
But anyways, Rob Manfred. This is about Rob Manfred and what he's talking about with the Rays. Yes. So the Associated Press reported this. Rob Manfred was at a tuned-in event with Front Office Sports. I don't know what any of those things mean. He said at this event that essentially new Rays ownership, which is likely to happen here, will then beget a new Rays ballpark. Patrick Zalupski, we've talked about him. He is in line to be the next owner of the Rays. He is looking to buy the Rays from Stu Sternberg. That seems to be coming very soon. We talked about how September was sort of a time to watch for this deal to be done. So we are waiting for that deal to be done and for, you know, T's to be crossed and all that stuff. And dot the lowercase J's. And so there's a quote from Manfred in this AP story. He says, quote, "The situation in Tampa has a lot of kind of promising developments. I think the potential for the sale to a group that has huge, deep roots in Tampa would be a definite positive development in terms of the long-term for the franchise. So what he's basically like alluding to is this seems to be good. It would seem likely that the Rays will stay in the Tampa St. Pete area. Okay.
Good.
Next
I like
quote.
that.
I think Florida is the right place for that team. I think that there are opportunities in the Tampa Bay region that can be exploited. It's a weird way to put it.
That is words right there.
He's a businessman.
Ugh.
Business. In order to get a new stadium and keep the team there, Manfred said, he's actually a lawyer, but nevertheless, they're going to have the same options that the prior owner had in terms of one side or the other. So, again, it seems like they are hoping beyond hope. I'm sure Manfred is sort of greasing the wheels there, like making sure like this new owner, Zalupski, when he comes in, is going to really take a hard look at the Tampa St. Pete area for a new ballpark. We talked about how Zalupski was kind of eyeing and even, I think, put an initial purchase in for some land by Ybor City there, like down by the water in Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
That could be the potential new site for a Rays ballpark. Nothing is official. Nothing is in stone yet. He hasn't actually made any developments yet, and he doesn't even own the team yet officially. So it'll take a while, but it does sound like the Rays will probably stay in Tampa St. Pete more than likely. Obviously, we've talked about, Manfred said Florida, so we've talked about Orlando as an option. Who knows? Maybe Orlando is in the cards. They can always I don't know if Jacksonville is teaming for baseball right now. They do have football. They have college football. It's a pretty busy town for football.
They've got hockey as well. Yeah.
Is Jacksonville?
Yeah. Am I insane? I'm pretty sure the Jackson. Yes. Let's see. Hang on.
This is good.
Jacksonville.
This is a good bit.
Am I crazy?
You are crazy.
I am crazy.
There's no national hockey team in Jacksonville.
No, there is in Florida, though. I don't know what I'm thinking of right now.
The Florida Panthers are in Miami area.
Yeah.
They're in
okay.
Sunrise.
There's an EHL. There's it's like the Jacksonville Icemen. It's not affiliated with
see, there you go. You knew that. Yeah. You knew that. But
yeah,
you just
I did.
You just had to grab it out of there.
Yeah.
The Panthers, the Florida. No, you're good. The HL team. That's great.
Yeah.
The Florida Panthers hockey team, Sunrise, I forget they're in Sunrise or they're in that area in the Miami area. And then there's the Lightning, which are in Tampa Bay. They play out of the.
That's what I was.
They have a new arena.
Yeah.
They used to play out of Tropicana, I believe, when they started. There was the Sun Dome, and they were playing out of there. Anyways, long story. So right now the Rays are, we'll see. It sounds like though that Tampa St. Pete and probably Tampa is still kind of the main option for the Rays, which is good news.
Yeah, good for them. I like that. It'll be interesting to see how it goes. Because I know, didn't they already approve fixing the roof and everything? And
the $50 million renovation.
Yeah,
they're putting in the roof panels as we speak. They're hoping to get that done very soon. There's 200 or something roof panels or something. I forget what it is. But they have that job to do, and then once that's done, they can do the inner stuff and fix all the wiring and all that stuff. But Tropicana should be ready to go again by the start of the next season. The Rays do have a home opener sometime in, I think it's mid-April. They pushed back the home opener a little bit on the schedule for them so that they're ready to go. But they should be ready for the home opener there next year. But I believe the Rays have 2 or 3 more years left on the Tropicana Field lease. It might be 28 or 29, one of those years. So once that's done, you would need to maybe either get an extension for a couple of years and then have a ballpark ready, or just it's too early. It's too quick to get a ballpark. The owner has to be in place. They have to get the land. They have to get the permits. They have to get everything past city council, all that stuff, and then start building. It's going to take a while. But still, good news.
Good, yeah, I'd like that. If it's just you don't want to punish the fans just because you have a new owner and everything. I'd like that.
They've been punished with the owner before.
Oh, that's true, yeah. But
Sternberg's not the best owner in baseball. Come on.
No, but at least it's not as bad as the whole A's situation. So that we know of. Okay. All right, moving on. The Mariners look to curb noise outside T-Mobile, and I am familiar with this fight.
Oh, yeah, okay. I want to get your opinion on this.
Yeah.
I want to get your thoughts on this.
Yeah.
Your eyewitness report. Per reports, as I spit ice out of my mouth, it was very disgusting. Per reports, the Mariners, through Deputy General Counsel Christian Halliburton, those are words.
Those are words.
I know every team has a general counsel that makes sense, but I've never seen one quoted in an article. And then his name is Christian Halliburton is just I love it. It's a great name.
That sounds like sounds almost like an AI name. It's like,
it is. It sounds like an AI name. Yes.
Exactly. It's like ChatGPT. Give me the name of a random lawyer.
It's like you're playing like Lawyer All Stars on Sega Genesis, and it's like create a lawyer. And it's like
it's great.
Christian Halliburton is one of the names they give you.
I'm sure he's a wonderful person. It's all good.
So Mr. Halliburton says that
that's your real name.
They're trying to stop the noise of folks yelling toward fans through megaphones outside T-Mobile Park. Quote, "We're seeing more of the coordinated actors showing up. We're seeing louder and louder messages. And unfortunately, they're becoming more and more aggressive and really singling individuals out with truly hateful messages. The Mariners are looking to get this through City Council to ban noise before and after events at T-Mobile. And a report from Fox 13 in Seattle in July showed that the megaphones reached 122 decibels, which is not only much higher than what is allowed by the city in a day or during the day, it is about the same level of noise as a thunderclap. You're like, okay, close to peak stadium noise, by the way. And Seattle has like a history of peak stadium noise. For those who may not remember or forget or don't know, back in 2011 or 12, whatever year it was around then, the Seattle Seahawks are playing a playoff football game against the New Orleans Saints. And who was the running back?
Was it Marshawn Lynch?
Marshawn Lynch, yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to think, who's the running back?
Beast mode.
Who's the running back who like does his own thing and doesn't talk to people usually? Marshawn Lynch. He had the beast mode run, which was one of the greatest runs in football.
It was like a 99-yard run. Yeah.
It was like 65, 70 yards, but it was like,
okay.
Like I think it gets talked up to this day is like even more than it is. But when you watch it again, like he has stopped like 7 times and he breaks tackles, bounces off guys, stiff arms a dude to hell. Like it's incredible. It's one of the best runs ever.
Yeah.
It's the beast mode run. And during that run, the Seahawks crowd at what is now Lumen Field was like 135 decibels, like something ridiculous, something like
it was a small earthquake. The Richter scale registered it. Like I remember that and being like, good Lord.
So when you compare that to 122 decibels, which is the megaphone noise outside T-Mobile, that seems really loud. Now,
that's excessive.
You were recently at T-Mobile. Tell us your experience and the megaphone thing. What's going on with the megaphones? What's happening?
It was very loud. So it was only one person, but they were set out outside the the home plate entrance, like the main gorgeous entrance. Sure. And, they were some sect of Christianity, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
Religious
they
fanatics.
Were, yes, let's put it, yes, exactly. Okay, I'm not sure they were all Christians, but they were yelling at had the megaphone, they had the signs up, like repent, all that stuff, and just anybody that walks by them, which is, everyone trying to get into the ballpark, they're saying, you are going to hell, you are sinners, you're evil, rotten, and it's just, and I remember saying, and it was loud. I do remember being very, very, very loud. And I said to someone behind me, I'm like, wow, they're really convincing me that I should join. They're just insulting me so hard. It's like, fine, I'll finally join. Like
that's what
it was just, they were just mean. They were mean.
That's what I wonder about people like that. Like, do they really think there's going to be someone who walks up and goes, wow, the amount of aggression that you're giving me right now, it's making me change my mind about everything. And I should totally be joining your religious cult and being hateful toward other people. That sounds amazing.
You're tearing me down. I feel horrible. I definitely want to join. Yeah. It's I don't understand, but that's going to be a tricky, and I think, they would probably try to go after them. They're probably going after because of the noise, but it's like, that's the correct reason to go after it, because other than that, you're kind of talking about First Amendment issues, which is nowadays.
You can't. No, free speech is free speech. It should be free speech. I mean, people should be able to say what they want in this world.
It's very true.
Yes, I mean, it's the way it is. But yeah, when it's a noise thing, when I don't mind if a guy is like on the corner trying to hand out pamphlets and say, Jesus, whatever, or whatever we believe in. Here you go. That's fine. Like, and as long as the person is like not like in your face doing it, fine. But when it's bordering on noise violations or past noise violation, or it is bordering on assault, and it is someone like aggressively like in your face, like trying to get you to touch them or something like that. That is a no. Like, you can't do that. No. And so there's got to be some sort of like protection there. There's got to be some sort of enforcement there. So yeah, that's annoying. I mean, it's fun. It happens ever. Like when I was in Vegas, it wasn't a megaphone deal that I can tell, but there were guys definitely like out on the street, like by casinos, like just with sandwich boards and with pamphlets and all these kind of things, and saying that you're going to hell. But yeah, we're in Vegas. We know we're going to hell. We're in Vegas.
We're halfway there.
We are literally in hell right now. Like, that's the idea of being in Vegas. You're not telling us anything that we don't know at this point. So
it's like, wait, it took a trip to Vegas to help me realize that I am going to hell. It's like that's part. No, it's like, no, we're aware.
Like, go to the airport where I live, like near the gate where the Vegas flight is, and say, hey, you're going to hell. Don't do it. What? It doesn't make sense when you're in Vegas already and on the strip, which is already the worst place on earth. So I don't know. I don't know. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But hopefully the Mariners get this figured out. It sounds like they're kind of getting that stuff going, and hopefully by.
I remember my friend dropped me off because like parking around T-Mobile is kind of weird, but like he dropped me off and he was like, just be careful. There's like people in front of the ballpark that are going to be yelling at you. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I walked up there and I was like, oh, that's what he was talking about. Okay. Just getting negged to death by.
We say the same thing in Philadelphia, but it's not religious fanatics. It's just Philadelphia sports fans.
Good. All right. The New York Mets get an improvement at Citi Field.
All right. Time to read a press release from a company, a brand. Samsung just upgraded the big old Coca-Cola sign in right field at Citi Field. They repainted the structure and sign outline, and then they made the sign dust tight, quote unquote, dust tight. I guess it just means dust won't get in it, and protected it against heavy rain, visible at any time, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. The sign has 22,117 pixels, able to reach 3,000 nits of brightness. Now, a nit is 1 candela per square meter. A candela,
like made up word.
A candela is a SI base of unit of luminous intensity. An SI base unit is one of the 7 fundamental units of measurement, joining the meter, the kilogram, the second, the ampere, the Kelvin, and the mole. So, in case you want to know what all those things mean, a nit essentially measures luminosity. So 3,000 nits seems like a lot of luminosity, I guess.
Yeah.
Basically, they're making the sign brighter and cooler, and that's great.
That's the largest sign, though, right? That's what we've discussed.
I don't know.
Largest sign?
No, we talked about LED boards. So Citi
LED boards. That's what I'm thinking of. Okay.
Citi Field has the largest LED board in baseball. That is, I believe, correct. And so that's part of it. Is Citi Field is a Samsung ballpark, so they have this very like deep deal with Samsung. The Mets do, and I mean this. We got it's Mr. Owner Man for the Mets who has money. Is like striking deals with Samsung and all these things. I was going to talk about how the owner of the Mets, whose name is escaping. What is his name? Steve Cohen. He is.
Okay. Yes.
He's currently trying to get the casino done outside of Citi Field. That's been going on. He's trying to actually win the bid for the casino, so he'll own the casino and then also have the ballpark, and so more money. So, but there's a quote from Samsung, and it says, "Our long-standing partnership with the Mets is built on using technology to enhance every aspect of the game day experience," says David Phelps, the head of the display division, Samsung Electronics America. Quote, "The elevated Coca-Cola sign combines advanced LED performance with precision design," it's like a car, "ensuring it stands out as an iconic landmark and complements the state-of-the-art digital displays throughout Citi Field. As fans share a Coke in the stands," stop it, "they can also share brighter, more memorable moments at the ballpark." I just think of the poor communications like intern or deputy who has to write that line, like, you got to share a Coke in there, don't we? Okay.
Yeah.
Because we got to make sure our brand connection with Coca-Cola is that activation is referenced in this quote. We have to do it. It's ridiculous. Yeah. But yeah, it's all good. Big sign, but it's a Samsung ballpark. So the Mets have very state-of-the-art Samsung electronics throughout Citi Field, and one of those things is the LED board, which is humongous. But it does separate Citi Field and the Mets from other teams as like the most digital like ballpark in baseball, and so that's cool. I guess it makes money for people. Great, as long as it keeps people in jobs. It's fine.
Yes.
It's fine. So there you go.
Let's just hope there's no AI involved. I swear.
Well, I'm
that
sure
stuff you were talking about, like with the. Oh yeah, well, I mean it's everywhere, but. Then you talk about 3,000 nits of brightness, and nits is 1 candela, and I'm like, is this the same with Christian Halliburton? I don't know.
Yes, it probably is.
Are you making these words up? I've never heard those words before.
John,
hey, you learn something new every day. Yeah, perfect.
All right. Well,
man.
That's it for the news this week. We will come right back on Take Me Out, and we'll talk about the playoffs, but we're going to rank all of the current playoff contenders by their playoff fan base. Stay with us. Welcome back to Take Me Out. Tim here, and Alex is there.
Sept.
So playoffs are here. Just about. Yes. Almost. Very
Just
close.
Almost. Oh
we are a week away, essentially, from the start of the Major League playoffs as of recording. The next episode of Take Me Out will basically be, we'll do a playoff preview. I don't know what we're going to do. We'll do something. We'll do something playoff-centric with the next episode of Take Me Out. Hopefully, all your teams are in it. If you root for said team, I think you will be fine. Alex. I'm not too worried about your fate. I mean, yes, there's still a chance, but here's what we did. There are, in my estimation, 16 teams, half the league essentially, that I think are still pretty much in contention for the playoffs. Now, there are a couple teams, most of them in the American League, that have a mathematical shot at making it. You have the Tampa Bay Rays. You have there's another team in there, the Texas Rangers. Mathematical, still have a chance. But I don't know. They're a little bit far
more
away.
More of an outside shot.
So I'm not going to include them in this. Now, we can see what happens. I could be proven wrong. Who knows?
Don't jinx this, Tim. Don't jinx this.
I mean, yeah. You guys took care of business over the past week with the Rangers. So there you go.
Yeah, I got the silver boot, but I want the golden statue.
Oh, stop it.
The Tiffany statue.
Stop. So what we did was we took the 16 teams that are currently in deep contention for the playoffs, the ones that have a real shot at making it, and we're going to rank them 1 to 16 of best to worst playoff fan bases. This is obviously a very subjective ranking, and we're going to probably show our biases. Why not? But this is going to be a chance for you to better understand the playoff fan bases, to get a sense for what to experience at the playoffs, how it's going to go. And, we're going to bring some sort of past references in. We're going to kind of talk about, old playoff stuff, whatever. But this is kind of a way to kind of set us up so that if you are looking to go to a playoff game this year or next year or whatever, and you're like, I want to go see a cool playoff experience, this will be your guide to help you along. You can use our rankings as sort of a guide, and it'll be foolproof. It'll be great. It'll be perfect, even though it is very subjective. So,
yes.
Any first words before we get into the rankings?
Don't take this personal.
Don't take it personal. All right. So I guess what we'll do is we'll just go down the list, starting with the American League, and then we'll go to the National League. And we'll just kind of do like battles. And then we'll just start putting them in the list, like where they rank kind of thing. And we'll come up with the ranking at the end. We'll try not to take too much time doing this. We don't want to doing this for 2 hours. It's ridiculous. But it'll hopefully be fun. Good exercise. Let's do it. Okay. We'll start in the American League with the top 2 teams in the AL right now. 89 and 64. I'm just like so shocked that they are the best team in the American League. Like by a decent margin now. The Toronto Blue Jays.
Quietly. Yeah. No one saw this coming.
Nobody. Who saw this coming? Nobody saw this coming. No. We saw this coming like 3 years ago. Like, the Blue Jays are going to be amazing. And then they were like not good.
Yeah.
And then they were not good again. And here they are. 89 and 64, the Toronto Blue Jays. And the second team right now in the American League as of September 19th, the morning of. So the standings as of September 18th. Number 2 team right now is the Tigers at 85 and 68. So Blue Jays, Tigers. Fan bases, playoffs, like where do we see them kind of falling in? Any thoughts?
Fan bases, I mean, I would say the Blue Jays would be like the fan base would be hyped up because again, they haven't been great, but
I
putting those two.
Go ahead.
I would say putting them head to head. I think Detroit has been not as quiet about building their team, and I think the fans are a bit more hyped about that. And actually, one of my favorite. I hate this word, content creators. I guess we are content creators as well. But it's this guy who's now a big Tigers fan. Are you familiar with Chef Reactions?
Yeah, Chef Reactions. He's very fun.
He's great.
He became a Tigers fan.
He's a Tigers fan. And he actually threw out a first pitch and everything. And I'm like, so I was kind of, I knew he wouldn't be an Astros fan because he was like, didn't know what fan base, but he chose the Tigers. Yeah. And I really think that speaks a lot. I'm not trying to base everything off of his choices, but I'm like, you know what? I think the Tigers have a really good fan base. So between the Tigers and Blue Jays, I think the Tigers fan base is going to be more hyped up.
Okay. I mean, so I think Chef Reactions, he had like a finalist list at the All-Star break, and he was like at the All-Star
game. I can't remember which.
So it was the Tigers. I want to say the Cubs were one of the 3, or the Padres. It was the Padres. I think it was the Tigers, either the Cubs or the Padres, and the Phillies were definitely the other finalists. Like the Phillies were on his list.
Yeah.
but he picked the Tigers.
I think the Astros didn't even make the first cut.
No, it was like
He
cheaters, whatever. But I think it was a good choice. Tigers are a great, like, old school team, and I don't have any. I have no ill will toward the Tigers. I think they are cool, and if they make the World Series, that's cool. That's awesome. I love Detroit too. It's a fun city. So my only thing with the Toronto is that they have Rogers Center, and it's indoors. It's a dome, and the sound sort of like closes in. And I just remember those playoff games when Bautista was there back in the early 2010s, and like the bat flip and like those memories, right? Those crowds were bonkers back then. Now, they had built that team up over time, and the fans kind of got bonkers through that. They also have the entire country of Canada that they can sort of choose from with that fan base. So it's a bit of a disadvantage in that respect. However, I do kind of agree with you that the Tigers, I think the fan base is more like ready this time out. I don't want to make this like a solely like this moment right now rankings, because we want this to kind of be your guide a little bit going into the future. So like if I kind of zoom out more, it's very close. I could still agree with putting the Tigers over the Blue Jays because there's more history there. There's more sort of like lived in sadness with Tiger fandom. They haven't necessarily been like amazing over their history, right? Like their last World Series championship was 4, so it's been a while since the Tigers have won all of it. So I get it, they've been to the World Series, recently in the last like 15 years. But yeah, I would put the Tigers like a hair over the Blue. I think it's very close. I would put the Tigers a hair over the Blue Jays in this ranking.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm good with that.
All right, let's now add in the third best team in the American League right now. As of right now, it could change as of you could listen to this. They're not the third best right now, but as of this moment, they are. The 84-69 Seattle Mariners. You were just in Seattle. You got to take some bias aside if you can, Alex. Thoughts on the Mariners and their fan base? Their fan base.
They have a great fan base.
It is great. It is great.
They are very loud, and again, as an Astros fan, it's very, they have been riding the Astros coattails. I am going to say that. They've been riding the Astros coattails because I don't know. But again, like I recently went to T-Mobile Park. I really like that fan base. I really like that ballpark. And as we've mentioned, it can get loud there.
It really can. It
can get very, very loud. And I would love to experience a playoff game there. If the Astros and Mariners have to, I would love to go to a game, and I would love to experience that. Because Astros fans travel very well. That would be an incredible playoff experience. I think Mariners fans have been just waiting and waiting and waiting, because they have been, for the past few years, have been fielded great teams. And I think this fan base is rabid enough, because Seattle's a great sports town, fantastic sports town. I think Mariners fan base is definitely up there.
Yeah, I agree. It's a great sports town. All their fan bases like get hype. The Seahawks, the Sounders, the Kraken. I don't even know how the Kraken fan base is, but I'm sure it's good. But the Mariners fan base has always been like very passionate. Maybe they don't show up all the time, and I don't blame them. I mean, every fan base is like this, right? But when they're good, they do show up. They get crazy. They get loud. They wear the colors. They're very big. Like wear the jersey, wear the costume, do the thing. It's a really good. And then T-Mobile closes up. The sound can be contained there. It's a really good environment. I agree wholeheartedly. I think the Mariners leap over the Tigers and the Blue Jays to start this ranking.
For sure.
All right. Let's add in the fourth best team in the American League as of this recording, the 86-67 New York Yankees.
So Yankee Stadium is kind of scary to go to.
Yeah, this is an interesting to factor in, because there is the fright factor, which is not. It's not necessarily.
It's not really a good thing.
It's not a good thing, but it's not really a bad thing, because it's an intimidation thing, right? Like it is intimidating to be an opposing fan there, to be an opposing player there. It is raucous.
Yeah.
But I've been to a New York Yankees postseason game.
That's right. You have.
2015, Yankees versus Astros, wild card game. It was when there was one game to
Dallas
win or lose.
Keuchel.
Dallas Keuchel pitched an absolute gem. The Astros shut out the Yankees. We sat in the left field bleachers, which is like the bleachers of Yankee Stadium, the bleachers. And my brother-in-law, who is a taller man and a firefighter, was wearing head-to-toe Astros gear, and was like intimidated, like not he was the focus of intimidation. He was not intimidated. He does not get intimidated. He rolled all like it all rolled off of him, and he laughed it off. And by the end of the game, like there were Yankee fans who were like, "I don't like you, but I respect you, and I will joke with you."
Yeah,
and which is an East Coast thing. It's a very East Coast thing. So intimidation factor. There's a loudness and a boisterousness and a raucousness and a, we're puff our chest out kind of thing with the Yankees fans. But if it gets bad, it gets really quiet there pretty quick. That's a very East Coast thing. So
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm willing to like entertain the Yankees not being at the top right away. But your thoughts?
So while the intimidation is definitely a thing, it can get too much. It can get a little overwhelming. And I don't want to say there's an actual fear of being injured. Yankees fans are kind of known for heckling and throwing things on the field. And what was it last season where they tried to break a player's hand?
Well, the player was trying to grab the ball out of Mookie Betts' glove in the World Series.
The fan was.
That was at Yankee Stadium. Yeah.
And
they have a history of this. Yeah.
They do. And while that could add to, the intimidation factor, that's just part of the rules of the game is you don't interfere with the ball on the field, and you don't throw things on the field. So they're going to have to take away some. I had to take away some points.
Well, so you can take away some points, but let me ask you this question, because this is really the question that it's going to come down to with the end of this, right? If I had to go to one playoff baseball game and I could pick any place to go, would I rather go to T-Mobile Park for a Mariners playoff game or to Yankee Stadium for a Yankees baseball playoff game? Like if I haven't been to either and I had one to pick, I could go to either one. Like, what would be the one that I would want to go to because like I got to be in that atmosphere? I think it's still Yankee Stadium.
I do too, dude.
If it was the old Yankee Stadium, I don't think it would be like a question. I think the old Yankee Stadium, we'd have it number one with a bullet. As of right now, but like it's more of a debate. But I think it's still number one at this moment.
I do too. I hate saying it, but I do too. Okay. It's
that's going to be the question at the end of the day that we're going to have to ask.
They don't need a roof there because of how well
there are some ballparks that don't. We'll get there. There's other parks that don't need a roof for sure. All right, fifth best team currently could be the third by the end of this recording. Who knows? Or the second we see. 84-69. Your Houston Astros. Thoughts on now? Here are the biased thoughts from Alex on the Houston Astros fan base at the playoffs. Tell me what you think.
I during the normal season, Astros fans take a while to get to their seats, but anytime I see them in the playoffs, people are just butts in seats, rally towels going, roof always closed because we know the sound gets out when the roof is open. I would have to put, and this is part homerism but part unbiased. I'm going to have to put Astros. No, I'm going to put them under the Yankees. Astros, Yankees.
Over the Mariners.
So number one, Yankees. Number two, Astros. Number three, Mariners.
Okay, I think I will agree with you actually on this. That's where I was kind of looking. I've been to a couple Astros playoff games, World Series. I went to last year's first wild card game. They lost to the Tigers in that one. And so I think Astros fans are very good fans. I think they are like arguably like they're top 3 to 5 of most into the game of fan bases. Like they dress up, they wear costumes, they get really into it. They like want to show off and show their support. I think it's a very like Southern big city thing, like Houston, New Orleans. Like I need to like dress up and show that I like have the coolest outfit. Kind of thing.
I would love to see where people get their spaceman outfits. I don't know where they get them.
I know.
Like
like,
helmets.
I know the guy who's the spaceman. He's awesome. I know several people. I know a woman who dresses up like as a pineapple, or used to, for Pena.
For Pena, yeah.
So like, there's a lot of that, and it's really fun. I have been to playoff games that are more raucous. I've been to playoff games that are very dead quiet, like last year's wild card game against the Tigers, where the fans were like, "What the hell is happening here?" Yeah. And I will say, even the World Series, when they were like doing well, the fans were into it and loud, but not as loud as I thought they would be. Even with Daikin closed and the sound carries, and the Astros like keeping it closed during the playoffs so that the sound gets trapped into the ballpark and the opposing team has trouble, whatever. That's one of the reasons they say, who knows. but it's certainly not the weather, because the weather in October is amazing in Houston. But
it is, yeah.
I do think it's a
the
really
only
good
chance to open the roof, and it's like, don't open the roof, keep the roof closed.
It's a really good atmosphere. I think it's been proven. I think Mariners, it's close. It's very close to the Mariners. They're kind of almost like flip-floppy, but I will give the slight edge to the Astros for this one. I have seen enough to know that I have seen good stuff there. Now, it could change in this postseason. We'll see what happens with, these teams and how they perform if they're in it, but I'll put the Astros at 2 for now. Okay.
Now, I'm wondering, and I'm not trying to dig up old stuff, but I'm wondering, again, this is not trying to do this, but I would love to know what the decibel system was, or the rating was, after Jordan hit that home run in 2022.
Well, in my house, it was 3,000, because I was like, ah!
The bar that I was picking up shift, it sounded like a jet engine in the bar, because I was like, I was working, I was like, what just happened? But anyways, I would love to know what that sound was there. I'm sure.
I don't.
Sure
I don't want to know. All right. 83 and 70. 83 and 70 right now on in the last wild card spot. We'll see what happens here. The Red Sox, the Boston Red Sox, who I think might be actually the team that wins the American League this year. I just have a weird feeling.
Okay.
Boston Red Sox, Fenway Park playoffs. This is a really good atmosphere. Okay.
It is.
I've never been to a Red Sox playoff game live. I've been around Fenway Park at playoff games.
Not at Fenway, but not at Fenway. Okay. Close.
I've been outside of Fenway for playoff games, like historic ones, like right outside Fenway Park. Okay. And I heard that. I mean, that crowd was amazing. 2004, I was there. I can put them above the Yankees. Here's the thing.
Okay.
It has been kind of a while since we've had like really good Red Sox postseason baseball. It's weird to think about it, but they were really good in 2018. They were amazing in 2018. They haven't really been good at that level since then. So it's been a while since we've had good. So I
know they're itching.
So the sample is a little bit far away, but I still think it's a kooky park. It is very cramped. You can't walk, you can walk around more than you used to, but you're kind of designed to go and sit in your seat and actually really stand up, because a lot of those seats at Fenway, if you sit in your seat all game, you're going to get cramped and it's going to be bad.
Yeah.
So you have to stand. I mean, it makes you stand up and makes you be part of the game more. And when you're at Fenway, you feel like you are on top of the field. You're very close to everything.
Oh, yeah.
It's just the atmosphere, the design of it, and then the noise and how it travels and the city and the way fans are. I would say it is potentially better than Yankee Stadium. It's very close, I think. But your thoughts?
I'm going to say Yankees 1, Red Sox 2.
Ooh.
I just think nothing beats Yankee Stadium. I really don't. I'm going to upset a friend by saying this, but I definitely think Yankees fans are going to be a bit more raucous than the Red Sox.
I'll put the Red Sox here, and I think the reason
I'm more scared to go to Yankee Stadium.
The reason I'll put the Red Sox at 2 is I think because of the time factor here. It's been a while since we've had really meaningful playoff baseball at Fenway Park, and so I need to see it again a little bit. But historically, I think they still kind of belong at near the top there. All right.
That's fair, yeah.
81 and 71 outside looking in, but still a chance they could even win the Central and somehow overtake the Tigers. The Cleveland Guardians, Progressive Field, playoffs. Now, there's some really cool history with Progressive Field and playoffs back in the 90s and then the 2000s. We remember the Midge game when the Midges were surrounding Jabba Chamberlain in 2007, I think that was. 06, 07, one of those years. But, good fan base, Cleveland, good sports town. It's actually a small stadium when you think about it. Progressive is a smaller stadium, but it feels big sometimes. It feels tall, I think. So the sound may not carry as well. I remember, however, the greatest baseball game ever played was at Progressive Field, the 2016 World Series Game 7. Just one of, in my opinion, the greatest game I've ever seen in my lifetime. Cubs and Guardians Game 7.
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
That crowd, that atmosphere was pretty amazing. There's a lot going for it. Where does it rank? Let's put it up against Houston and the Astros and their fans. Where would we put Progressive Field in that conversation?
I put Astros above Guardians.
You would?
Yeah.
Is there one reason or another that is not biased?
No. I just think that no.
So
it's been a while since the Guardians have really.
Well, I mean, they've been in the playoffs last couple of years. They've actually been in the playoffs more often than not. But I think so. The thing is that fan base is not East Coast fan bases are known for their the fear factor kind of a thing and the raucousness. I think some of the Midwestern fan bases get a little bit more of like, they're probably fun and they're cool. I know some Cleveland fans are like very raucous and they get really into it. It's a good sports town. But I will probably agree on the fact that Daikin is closed in and the sound kind of traps in a way that is really fun. The fans dress up in a way that I don't think Cleveland fans necessarily do. But the noise of Cleveland's really good. John Adams was the drummer there forever. He passed away a couple years back. They still have that atmosphere. The bleachers are great. Like, don't sell Progressive short. So let's compare it to T-Mobile. What do we think?
I'm going to go Guardians over Mariners.
Hey.
Yeah.
This is really close.
Oh, man, that's going to be really head-to-head.
You
know what? I'm going to do Mariners over Guardians, I think.
Okay.
Oh, God, that's so close, though. That's a toss-up.
I'm going to put Mariners over Guardians, too. I kind of agree. Okay. I think that's kind of where it is, though. I don't think the Guardians are lower than the Tigers. I think I give the Guardians just a slight edge over the Tigers there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
either or. It's gonna either or is correct. Yeah,
I think that like bottom half is like very toss-uppy, very toss-uppy.
Yeah,
and even the Astros are kind of part of that toss-uppy like sort of thing. I think they're still above the Mariners, but Yankees and Red Sox I think are just like a slight class above the others at this point still.
Yeah, for sure.
So, okay. All right, National League. So we have a top 7 now from the American League: Yankees, Red Sox, Astros, Mariners, Guardians, Tigers, Blue Jays. National League. Milwaukee Brewers, American Family Field. They're 94-59, best record in baseball right now. American Family Field in the play. They've had a lot of playoff games over the past several years. They've always been in the mix. It is attractable that they usually keep closed for the playoffs. It's a good atmosphere, good fan base, tailgating, beer, brats. They're very knowledgeable. It is a baseball town. I mean, they do have other sports. The Milwaukee Bucks are there. The Packers are not too far. Chicago's nearby, but it is a good baseball town. Yeah. Thoughts? I think right now I'm kind of entertaining them in the middle somewhere, like maybe around the Mariners.
They're not top 3. Okay. I would not say they're top 3. I would say right now it's going to be either 4 or 5.
I would put them.
I'm probably going more towards 4
over the Mariners.
Oh, are we just doing? Are we doing National League and American League separate?
Together. No, together. So
okay.
So below the Mariners or above the Mariners? You think above the Mariners?
I would say above the Mariners.
Man, that's a close one. I'm going to give the Brewers and their fans the benefit of the doubt and put them above the Mariners for the moment. I think that could change very quickly. I think the thing that kind of separates the Brewers a little bit is the pregame and the tailgate and all that. I think there's an atmosphere that is really fun about Milwaukee sports heading into the game that like kind of adds to that experience. So I will and Mariners also very good in that department, but the Brewers have maybe the best in baseball as far as like pregame tailgating, getting ready, party, that kind of thing. That kind of lifts them, I think, just slightly above the M's. Okay, so we'll do that.
Okay.
Next up, 91-62, the number 2 team in the National League, the Philadelphia Phillies at Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia. Alex, I'm not going to say a word. Give me your thoughts.
I'm putting them at number 3 above the Astros, below the Red Sox.
Why?
Because I remember just watching the 2022 World Series and just being like, that's an incredibly raucous crowd. And
but why below the Red? Why?
I'm going to have to go because of history. And just, I think it's just Yankees and Red Sox are just such, I do see a couple teams below that could be up there, but I just think Philly's number 3.
Okay. I'm going to, and I'm trying so hard not to have a bias here. I'm really trying hard.
They could be 2 or they could be 3, and I'm going to go with 3.
I would put the Phillies at 1.
Really?
And I'm trying so hard not to have a bias here. We have a pretty darn good sample size now over the last couple of years. Only the Astros maybe have been in more playoff games than the Phillies in the last 4 or 5 years. That ballpark, people talk about Citizens Bank Park nationally outside of Philly, as a element of the playoffs in itself. It causes things to change in games. It causes players to sort of react differently. Players have sort of suffered under the lights of CBP. Some Phillies players actually thrive. The Phillies record at CBP is the best in baseball of all teams at home. Mm-hmm. That crowd, there's memeable moments that have happened from that ballpark from the playoffs. I'm trying to be very unbiased about this, but I just, as an objective person looking at all the other ballparks and how they are at the playoffs and what you're watching and how you want and what the crowd is like at that, and if you want to be there, I think a normal baseball fan would be like, I want to go to that park and see a game there for the playoffs because it seems like the most fun, ridiculous thing ever. It's
and
like,
you probably
it's a big
don't
party.
feel fear like you might at Yankee Stadium.
I mean, there's definitely a fear factor.
Yeah.
It's probably around the same level as Yankee Stadium. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wish
the city of brotherly love, though.
And I've been to Phillies playoff games. It has been a long time since I've been to one. 11 was the last one I was at, and that one was sad because they were up 4-0, and then they blew that lead, and the fans shut up. So I can actually see that as potentially a reason to knock it down, because when things get tight, the buttholes get tight, and the Phillies fans do quiet down in a way that is very disconcerting. So if you want to knock them down for that, I'm totally fine with that. But I'm looking at the last 4 or 5 years of baseball and the playoffs and how the fans are. And man, there are national pundits who say that is the best experience in baseball, bar none. The objective part of me wants to put them in number one. The subjective part of me wants to put them in number one. Now, if you really think that Yankee Stadium is above them because of history, because of all that sort of mystique and all that, it is a new stadium. It's only been there since 2009. It's not necessarily the original, FYI. But if you still do think that, I can entertain it for sure. I'm not trying to put my foot down.
Oh God,
this is the hard one. I knew that
this is tough.
This is the hard
dude.
one because I'm a diehard Phillies fan, and I want to put them one, but I also need to be objective about this.
I'm gonna have to stick to I'll put Phillies at number 2.
At number 2, below the Yankees.
Yeah.
All right. I will concede to that.
But it's gonna be just by the skin of their teeth.
I will concede to that because I'm trying to account for my fandom, and I'm also acknowledging that you are a very anti-Yankees person who is putting the Yankees at 1 for a reason. So
yeah,
I will acknowledge
it's my
that.
one concession I'll make today.
Yankees at 1, Phillies at 2. Okay. Next up, 85 and 67, currently in the 3 spot, the Los Angeles Dodgers, Dodger Stadium playoffs. Now, we know the tropes about people don't get there until late, they leave early, all that. Yeah. It's because Dodger Stadium is terrible logistically. Yeah. Getting there sucks. Traffic is bad. You can only get there by car. It sucks. And leaving there, it takes 2 hours to leave that place. It's different in the playoffs because people do care more. The fans are crazy. The fans are very into it. I give them total credit. The fans are very into it. And there is that celebrity factor. Even though Mary Hart hasn't been a celebrity for 30 years, she still is behind the plate for every single game. Larry King, they're still there every game, right? So
who am I thinking of? Rob Lowe. Yeah, he's a big one.
Wearing the MLB hat probably.
Yeah.
So there's reasons to put the Dodgers very high up there. When I think of playoff experiences that are second to none and raucous and really take you in the game like no other, I don't think Dodger Stadium touches Yankees, Phillies, and maybe even Red Sox. I think you can start to have the Dodger Stadium conversation after the Red Sox. So
I put them above the Astros.
Okay.
I would put Dodgers at number 4.
Okay. I think that's it. I think we're good. Yeah. I think that ends the conversation. I think that's fine.
Cool.
All right. 88 and 65 currently in the 4 position, the Chicago Cubs. Okay. 16 World Series, Game 7. This wasn't in Chicago. This was in Cleveland.
This is it.
But I just need to talk about this. Game 7 of the 2016 World Series. We went to the hospital earlier that day, my wife and I, because my wife was about to have a baby. And
okay. I was like, uh-oh. I'm like, oh, no, this is a good thing.
Thought she was about to give birth. And we went. It was a false alarm. We went to a place for lunch. I had a beer, had a burger. We went back home. And I was very happy that we didn't have to stay in the hospital. And I told her, I was like, look, tonight is Game 7 of the World Series. I want to watch it at home. So thank you, baby, for not coming yet.
Can you just hold it for a little bit?
I sat in the living room. My wife was having contractions and going through the whole thing. And they were decent contractions. She was sweating through the oldies there in the chair. And I was watching Game 7 of the World Series with a 6-pack of beer in front of me.
Oh my God. You just say you're Ubering, sorry.
teasing my wife, but my wife, she was amazing. She was like, no, you should enjoy this. It's Game 7. Have fun. She was watching. She was having fun. Maybe the greatest game I've ever watched in my life, right? Cubs and Guardians. That series with Cubs winning games and hearing "Go Cubs Go" at Wrigley, and I remember what was it, Game 5 after the Cubs took it to 6, I think it was, and the series moved back to Cleveland, and the Cubs won that game, and Fox just like I think they won it on a walk-off, and Fox just like Joe Buck stopped talking, and they basically panned the crowd for like 5 minutes, and they were all singing "Go Cubs Go," and there were like fans like crying in the stands, knowing that they could have another World Series game, and like they were still in it, and that sound of "Go Cubs Go," like to me, that's one of the
getting chills thinking about that.
That is one of the most chilling playoff experiences I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, cool!
And that alone like makes me want to put the Cubs and Wrigley way up high.
Yeah, I want to put them right now. I want to put them at number 3,
below the Phillies and above the Red Sox.
Yeah, and
I think that's fine. I think that's totally fine.
Yeah, and because it's also like it's not just in the ballpark, because you've also got Wrigleyville, which is Wrigleyville is part of the game going experience there. It is part of being there, even if you don't have a ticket.
Yeah.
I think, and it's because also you have the big scoreboard, the big Wrigley sign out front that people just like to hang out and just see the pictures in front of, because I think that is part of the game going experience, even if you don't have a ticket.
Yes.
So I think it extends. So I definitely think it is going to be number 3 for me.
I think the two things that kind of set the Cubs a little bit back from the top 2 is it's not the same level of noise and raucousness that I think you get out of the East Coast crowds. It's just slightly less, and that's not a dig on Cubs fans. It's not a dig at all. But there's something like asshole-ish about East Coast fans that just rises to the occasion in the playoffs. And part of the other reason is the fear factor. Like, there is a fear factor of going to Yankee Stadium, going to Citizens Bank Park if you're an opposing fan. Wrigley, if I go as an opposing fan, I will probably get razzed a little bit, but the fans are amazing, and they're not going to start crap. It's a fun atmosphere, and so
it's a great atmosphere. And that one game that I went to at Wrigley, they won, and everyone was.
If I'm ranking regular season baseball atmospheres, like what number 1 is, Wrigley might be number 1 in all of baseball. So for playoffs, I think there's a slightly different slider that I use, and I would put them just below the top 2. So perfect.
I want to say also because the Cubs are such an old organization, and Chicago is such an old sports city. I think. Taking away since the fact that they're not on the East Coast, there's I'm not trying to dig on any of the team. There's almost so much of a reverence and respect for the sport and the game itself that the fans know how to behave themselves, but they still know how to have a great time. And I think that gives them a lot of points.
I think similar is like the St. Louis Cardinals and their fan base. Like, people talk about how they're the greatest fans of baseball. They're good fans because they understand baseball really well and they can talk it and they respect baseball. They're not the loudest and most obnoxious fans, and not the ones that rise to the occasion the most in a playoff atmosphere, but they're really good fans. So I agree with you totally on that one. All right.
Cool.
In the 5-hole right now, 83 and 70, the San Diego Padres. Padres fans, Petco Park. This is going to be lower for me because
me too.
That fan base, while there are really good elements of it and they do get excited for it, and the ballpark is awesome and is in a great position, especially for playoff baseball and hanging out before and after the game and stuff like that, that fan base just doesn't get to the levels of some of the other fan bases we've talked about. I would probably right now put them – they're competing with the Blue Jays in my opinion right now.
Okay.
And that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing.
No. I was going to put them. Yeah, I was going to put them at number 10, actually. I was going to give. Yeah.
So above the Tigers. You're going to put them above the Tigers.
I would. You know what? I'm going to put them below the Tigers.
I would put them below. There are some really good Padres fans, and there's some really excited and very passionate Padres fans. I don't want to give them any shade for this at all. It's just a different atmosphere there. I think as a total fan base, they can get really hyped. They can get really big. I've seen it. 2022 National League Championship Series. There were moments in that series where the fans are really into it. Game 2 of that series, the game that the Padres won in that series, the fans are really into it. But the other times, Game 1 was the only other game in San Diego for that series. But it just wasn't at that level. It just didn't get me as playoff baseball, So I'm going to put them. I think so. We're putting them at what? Below the Tigers.
I think we said number 11.
Number 11. Okay. I feel bad for the Blue Jays.
The Blue Jays 12. Yeah.
All right. 79 and 74 currently in the 6th. That could change very quickly. We know how this team has performed in September and since. The Mets, Citi Field, New Yorkers, Mets fans. This is like a high variance crowd. They could be really good and really hype and really big. I saw this last year in the division series. I got, as an opposing fan who historically has not liked the Mets, I don't not like the Mets. They're fine. I like their fans. I have a lot of friends who are Mets fans. Listening and watching game, was it 4, whatever game it was when the Mets won the series over the Phillies, and Lindor hit the grand slam. And right before he hit the grand slam, he came up and the walk off. His walk up music was it "My Girl" by the Temptations. And hearing, I mean Lindor, I like Lindor a lot. But
did you see how his wife played the national anthem? Yeah, on the violin, and he looked so happy.
He was very happy.
Proud. I'm like, I love that.
That
made me so happy.
Great.
I loved it.
But hearing "My Girl" and the fans singing along with it before that at bat, and then he comes up to bat and he hits the grand slam, that was close to the level of Bryson Stott of the Phillies hitting the grand slam against the Marlins in the wild card series 2 years before that, or the year before that. And everybody singing Bryson Stott's walk-up music and then shutting up and he hits the grand slam. And that was an incredible moment. Very similar. I don't think it gets to the levels of like a Phillies, a Yankees, or Red Sox. I just think those fans can be low variants too. And the ballpark doesn't quite work as well as some of the other ballparks for sound. And the area around the ballpark.
Samsung, you got to do something better with that.
The area around the ballpark is not like the most like hospitable for like pregame and stuff like that. So I'm willing to knock it down a bit, but your thoughts, where do you think it lands kind of first blush?
I mean, I'm trying to remember because when I went to Citi Field, I think it was like close to 10 years ago. And while it was a great atmosphere, I'm trying to think how that would translate with playoffs. They could be anywhere between 5 and 7. I want to put them.
I would put them below the Astros right now.
That's what I was looking at too. I would say do put them at number 7 and knock the Brewers down.
I mean, I would entertain them below the Brewers, honestly.
Yeah.
But I think we're okay putting them at 7 for now. I think that's okay. I think that's safe.
Perfect.
All right. Let's go through these final 3 quicker because they are on the outside looking in, and it's a little bit. I think
they're going to be in the little lower bin.
Maybe,
I think.
maybe. Yeah. So Diamondbacks 77-76 right now. They have a chance. They've been playing really well lately. Chase Field indoors. Sal can trap in there. Good fan base when they're really good. They had a big run a couple years ago, and that was really something, and the fans were into it. But it's not near the level of, I would say, Mariners, Guardians. I think you're probably putting the Diamondbacks somewhere in that lower third, lower fourth.
I'm going to put them at 12. I put the Tigers above them.
Okay, over the Padres. Okay, I agree with that. I feel really bad for the Blue Jays right now. I feel like the Blue Jays are not 13.
No, they're not. They're not going to be 13. Okay. Because the next team is, I think.
Okay, well,
Spoiler alert.
So the next team, 77-76, also still has a chance, the Cincinnati Reds. I think this is primarily based on the fact that they really have not been to the playoffs much at all.
They haven't sipped it in a while,
And boy, have they not had any playoff wins.
No.
I think their last playoff win, when was their last playoff? I don't want to do the thing now, but I feel like it's been a long time since the Reds have had a win in the playoffs. Yeah. They may have been in a wild card game.
I have to look this up.
I think they were in a wild card game against maybe the Pirates. I want to say a decade ago.
October 7th, 2012.
They won that game.
Yes, that was their last playoff win.
Against who?
It was NLDS against the San Francisco Giants.
NLDS, okay.
They won 9-0. Yeah.
And then the Giants won that series.
The last playoff series win was 1995 against the Dodgers.
Ooh, yeah.
That's wow. Okay.
Yeah, Barry Larkin Reds.
20 years.
The Barry Larkin Reds, his MVP season.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they just haven't had playoff baseball, and that fan base has been really beaten down, and we don't know what that park is like in the playoffs at a really high level. No. It's been a long time. So yeah, I'm willing. Yes, I agree with you. 15th is totally fine there.
Right.
And then finally, 76-76, a team that I do not want to see in the playoffs because that's a house of horrors for a lot of teams, including the Phillies, and they just get that juju magic that I really hate. The San Francisco Giants, Oracle Park, it's a good fan base. It's a good ballpark.
It is, dude.
And playoff baseball, they seem to rise to the occasion. Where would we...
They're going to be top 10. I'm going to put them...
Let's put them against the Brewers, and where do they land there?
I'm going to put them above the Brewers.
Okay, against the Mets.
Below the Mets. Do I? God.
I put them above the Mets.
I am too.
They get the fights between the Giants and the Dodgers fans and all that.
Oh my God. I don't want to think about that because
it's not great.
Ugh,
but
no.
It's a pretty raucous fan base. I don't know about the Astros and Giants. That's a hard one. I'm willing
I'll put Astros above them. So I would think number 7.
I think that's about right. 7th place for the Giants. So, okay. And I'll just finish the rankings here, but we have a top 16. And we will go through them here, starting with number 16. At 16th place, we are ranking the best playoff baseball experiences by the teams that are contending. 16th is Great American Ballpark, the Cincinnati Reds. 15th, Rogers Center, Toronto Blue Jays. 14th, San Diego Padres at Petco Park. I could put the Rogers Center experience above Petco. I could. 14th. 13th, Chase Field, Arizona Diamondbacks. 12th place, Comerica Park, Detroit Tigers. 7th place, Progressive Field, Cleveland Guardians. 10th place, T-Mobile Park, Seattle Mariners. 8th place, American Family Field, Milwaukee Brewers. 8th place in the rankings is Citi Field, the New York Mets. 7th place is Oracle Park, San Francisco Giants. 6th place is Daikin Park, Houston Astros. 5th place, here we go, the nitty-gritty. 5th place, Los Angeles Dodgers at Dodger Stadium. The 4th best experience is at Fenway Park with the Boston Red Sox. The 3rd best is Wrigley Field, Chicago Cubs. The 2nd best experience is Citizens Bank Park with the Philadelphia Phillies. And the top experience, postseason-wise in baseball, still, I will argue this one, but I will concede to it for now, Yankee Stadium, New York Yankees. There we go.
That's a solid list. And a lot of these could be argued with.
I agree.
Like, I think this is this is the officially unofficial official.
If you were to make a bucket list of what are like the 3 or 4 playoff experiences that I need to see as a baseball fan at any point in my life, I would say Yankee Stadium, Citizens Bank Park, and Wrigley are like, and I'd put Fenway in that list. Like those 4 kind of to me like feel like quintessential. At least, there's enough of a like last 25 years to kind of say these are the 4, that really kind of rise up to that occasion. So there we go. Good. That's the list. Amazing list. We will come right back in a moment on Take Me Out. Stay with us.
Give us a follow. Give Take Me Out a follow on Facebook, if you would. Facebook.com/TakeMeOutPod. You can also give us a follow on Instagram at Instagram.com/TakeMeOutPod. And if you're listening to us right now, thank you so much. You're either on Spotify, Apple Plus, iHeart, any of them. We would love that if you would give us a wonderful 5-star review. That's all we ask. And then like, comment, subscribe on any of those platforms as well. Share. And then we're also on Patreon, patreon.com/TakeMeOut, where you take out the pod.
2 tiers there. We have the Loge level, $3 a month, and the Field level, $5 a month. You get special episodes of Take Me Out with either tier. Those special episodes include reviews of ballparks, including Citizens Bank Park in Philly and Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. Also, City Guides. Philadelphia is the one that we have up right now. We will do more of them. We will do more special episodes of Take Me Out as we go forward. But that is where you find that stuff, plus more perks if you sign up at one of our tiers there at Take Me Out on Patreon. Patreon.com/TakeMeOut. Back here on Take Me Out, final segment. So we're talking playoff baseball. Playoffs are about to start here. We could go to Yankee Stadium, Citizens Bank Park, Wrigley Field, Fenway Park, wherever we go. What is the best baseball playoff game that you've ever attended? I've been to quite a few, but what is the best that you've been to, Alex?
Mine was way back in 2017. It was October 5th. I had to look this up because I saw the question. I was like, I know this one. So it was 2017, Game 1 of the ALDS, Astros Red Sox. I remember my really good friend of mine, Andy, and I lived really close to each other, both diehard Astros fans. I remember it because of the anxiety I had in the Uber on the way to, at the time, Minute Maid Park, because I remember we were on 59 driving there in the Uber, and I said to Andy, and I was like, I don't know if I turned off my hair straightener. And he was like, he looks at me and he was like, either you did and everything's fine, or you didn't and your apartment complex is going to burn down. There's nothing you can do about it right now. Oh, and I just remember just sitting there in the Uber with my head in my hands, like, did I turn it off? And ever since then, anytime I leave the place, if I ever use my hair straightener, which I don't every now more recently I don't use it, I make sure to unplug it. Anyways, I did turn it off, so it was fine. But this was the game where Jose Altuve hit 3 home runs. And it was a big deal. I remember it. We were sitting, so I guess Daikin now has the 2 jumbotrons. We got El Grande, the big one, and then we have the smaller one where if you're sitting in the outfield, you can see it. Yeah. We were sitting 2 rows ahead of the small one. And I remember Altuve hit the first home run. Everyone went crazy. He hit the second home run. They went insane. And then he hit the third one. And again, I still apologize to Andy because I turned to him in my excitement and I punched him in the arm. And it was Astros ended up winning that one. I think it was 8-0. But it was such a memorable game just because Altuve hit those 3 home runs. And I was like, I can say I was at this game. And then, of course, later, we found out we were cheating, but, it was still an incredible game to be at. Yeah.
You didn't hear any drumming or anything from the outfield?
No, I didn't.
I was
No.
just asking. That's a great one.
Yeah.
I've been to quite a few. I've been to a couple World Series games. I've been to playoff games in other ballparks, not just my teams. But the best one that I've ever been to, October 2nd, 2008.
That's my birthday.
It is your birthday. Yeah, that was your
2008. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
that's the year I graduated from college.
I was about to turn 24. You didn't? Wait, you graduated from college?
I did a victory lap.
Oh, okay. Good for you. I love it. I love it.
Yay. My parents loved it too.
I thought we were 06, all of us, but no, that's totally fine. College is whenever you want to be in college. Doesn't matter.
Exactly. I had so much fun. I had to be there for one more year.
Unless you're Doogie Howser, then you go when you're like 12. But October 2nd, 2008, I was living in New York. I got through a friend a ticket to the Phillies game 2 of the NLDS. Drove down, got to the ballpark around like 3:30, 4 o'clock, something like that, just in time to kind of tailgate a little bit. The Phillies are playing the Milwaukee Brewers. The Phillies had won the first game of the series on the back of Cole Hamels. Great game he pitched. The second game, the Phillies are going up against the Brewers ace, CC Sabathia, who they got that midseason and was unbelievable. Like, the Brewers got Sabathia and the Dodgers got Manny Ramirez in that same trade deadline. And those dudes could have won the MVP and the Cy Young just based off of those second half performances for those teams. Sabathia went like 11-1 in the second half, something ridiculous with like a 1 ERA. It was ridiculous. He was incredible. So we were all like, we have to win game 1 because game 2, they're probably not going to win because Sabathia is unbelievable. So we were all kind of like gearing up for like, this might be like whatever, hopefully something great happens and we win this game, but we're going to still be crazy, whatever. And Phillies have not really had much playoff experience by that point. They did make the 07 postseason the year before, but they only hosted one playoff game and they got swept by the Rockies in the LDS. So that was terrible. It was terrible. The Rockies went on to the World Series. They didn't win it, but they went on to it. That was the team with Holiday and Tulowitzki, I think, was there and all those guys. But nevertheless, so went to that. So 4 o'clock, 4:30, going to tailgate. And I remember it was kind of a weird, like overcasty day, but like still the sun was kind of peeking out a little bit. And it was cool and chilly October weather, great stuff. And the sunset was happening and the sky was like purplish, magenta, like red, purple. It was a ridiculous sky. It was a very like Phillies red sky. And we were all kind of like, this is kind of cool. And maybe there's something there. Maybe there's something there, right? So we get into the ballpark. I'm sitting in the upper level in right field, and I'm with my buddy. And the Phillies, the Brewers start. I feel like the Brewers scored a run in the first inning off of Brett Myers or whatever. But so the first inning, whatever. Second inning. So we finally get to the bottom of the second, I believe. I think it was the bottom of the second. Sabathia was kind of rolling, and then Brett Myers comes to the plate. Brett Myers is a pitcher. He's not supposed to do anything. And Sabathia, for some reason, is not throwing him all strikes. He's like a little bit wild. And the fans we all start feeling it. Just this feeling just started happening. And we started going nuts with every pitch. Brett would take a pitch for a strike. He would take a ball. Then a strike would come and he'd foul it off. And we were like, yay! And then a ball. We were like, yay! And then he fouled one of them. Whoa! This went on. It's like 3-2 count. And he fouls off like 3 pitches. And we're like, ah! Like by the end of it.
Oh my God.
And we're like, CC sucks! CC sucks! Real loud.
Oh God.
It wasn't like this up until then at Citizens Bank Park, right? The fans, this was the moment I think Citizens Bank Park started becoming the ballpark for the playoffs. 08.
Okay.
We were going insane. Sabathia, he steps off the mound. We're like, he's rattled. He walks Brett Myers. And we're like going nuts. So he's walked. Brett Myers said, all right. Jimmy Rollins comes to the plate. He walks on like 5 pitches. Like, we're going insane, right?
Oh my God. Okay.
I think at this point, maybe somebody else was on base because the bases get loaded. Okay. The bases are loaded.
Oh my God.
And Shane Victorino comes to the plate. And Shane Victorino's like the dude who like makes stuff happen. He's like the firecracker. He's like, if you've watched like old Red Sox playoff games, like he hits the grand slam in that big, LCS game, whatever it was. He's like, incredible. Victorino comes to the plate. CC's like rattled. We're going insane. Crowd's pink sky. Pitch comes in. Victorino swats it. Left field. just clears the fence. Grand slam.
Oh my God.
I've never heard a crowd so loud in my life. I lost my voice in that moment. It was like a jet plane was in front of my face. It was unbelievable.
Oh man.
The Phillies go on to win the game 5-2. They go on to win the series in 4 games, and they won the LCS, and then they won the World Series. In that entire run, they didn't lose any games at Citizens Bank Park.
That's insane. Oh my God.
They won the first 2 of LDS games. I believe they won the middle 3 LCS games. Yep, they won the middle 3 LCS games, and then they won the middle 3 World Series games to win everything. They went 8-0, was it? Yeah, at CBP. That was the moment that I realized they were going to win the World Series. When Victorino hit that grand slam, I was like, this is our year. Like, this is the moment.
Yeah.
And I never heard a crowd that loud before, and I really do believe that was the moment that Phillies fans became the mother effer that they are today as like playoff fans. So
thanks to Shane Victorino. That's awesome.
Yeah, probably me. Thanks to me. Like I was part of it.
It's because you were there.
I was there. So that's
your lucky socks.
I remember I was wearing a hoodie. And then I was wearing a jersey over the hoodie, and I was wearing jeans and probably like even maybe like warm underwear, like under, like, you know, like leg warm, you know, like full pants or whatever under that.
Yeah.
Like it was colder, but not like frigid, but it was cold. It was, but man, what, take me back. Anyways, those are awesome. Playoff memories. Playoffs are, they're here. They're almost here. It's going to be great being part of it. Hopefully you will see me in various stages of happiness, maybe grief, but happiness ultimately. We'll see what happens.
It's gonna be playoff atmosphere tonight at Daikin.
Yeah, it will be.
Sure.
Well, we'll have fun there. We will have fun. Maybe I should go to the game. Well, I'm going out to dinner tonight. Maybe I'll go to Saturday's game. We'll see what happens. Nevertheless,
yeah, for sure.
Thank you for listening. We enjoy your presence here. Stay with us for next week. We will be talking more playoffs, more fun stuff with ballparks and going into baseball games here on Take Me Out. For Take Me Out, I'm Tim.
And I'm Alex. And for a few more days, it's baseball season.
See you later.